Hey there, 276. Congratulations on surviving session 2. Now, inevitably starts session 3. For this session, in the section 3 module, you are going to notice the following things. Number one, there is a link at the very top called benchmarking. This is where I talk to you about how you've done with the first two assignments, the uh, programming, fun, and games, and the chapter 2 one. Give that one a look. One of the things that we don't or can't do without something like that is talk about how everybody is doing and kind of give everybody an idea of how or what might be possible for how it is that you're doing. I know it's a thing that we teach you in education is it's a race, right? Because that's why we give you grades from A through F, and we say, you are doing better than average, you are doing much better than average, you are doing much worse than average, or whatever the case might be. And look, I agree it's a continuum, but I don't see it the same way. So in that benchmarking video, I talk a little bit about the range of completeness and the range of responses so that everybody can kind of get a feel for where they are, where they might be, or where it is that you eventually will end up. Because I think to expect, I'm going to call it perfection here, which is what all of us are taught to do in our, American academic environment, is like you have to be perfect in session 2 because if you're not, you're a failure. That's horseshit, right? Because we've given you 1 week of material. The total distance between where you are in session 1 and 16 is colossal, and the total distance between where you will be at the end of session 16 and the end of your career is unfathomable. So, if you were worried about your progress, your depth of understanding, the pacing of your understanding here after 1 week of coding, let me talk you down from the ledge in that benchmarking video. So that's the very first thing. Number 2 is this week is chapter 3. This is the first portion of chapter 3. This is the exercises portion. So what you'll do, you'll notice I have for you there, and they do function now. So thank you to everybody who let me know that the PowerPoints were not working. You have PowerPoints there. You have a host of podcasts there, and you also have a host of output demos here for chapter 3. So take a look at all of those before you get to the chapter 3 exercises. Next session will be what essentially amounts to the tests for a chapter. All of the material I have for you, and you can see it all in front of us here, is broken down as follows. One session, or in this case, there are sections. You will have the material from the textbook followed by a week of challenge problems. So those will take what you know from the text. They will expand on what you know, not just from that chapter, but from the previous ones, and they will help push you forward. So next session, we'll talk about the challenge problems in a little bit more depth, but don't worry about those for now. Just worry about chapter 3, which deals with formatting output. So good luck, 276. We'll see you next session. And before I forget, if you are out there suffering in silence, I know I've worked with many of you, but it's been my experience that, if I've got nearly 30 of you in the classroom or here in the online course, and 5 or 7 of you speak up, that means that there's at least another 5 or 7 of you who have been suffering out there silently and not speaking up. Don't worry about, like I said before, don't worry about your understanding. Don't worry about kind of that psychological thing you do where you're like, I know I'm struggling, but I'm the only one who's struggling because I haven't had any proof from anybody else that says that I'm the only one that's struggling. It's fine. Reach out. That's what I am here for. You suffering alone only destroys your experience with the class. Here in the beginning, let's get you on the right path so that by the time, sessions 12 through 16 roll around, this stuff will have been a distant memory and you'll be where you want to be or where you need to be for the code moving forward. So we'll see you all again. I think it's the 7th of September, barring any questions, comments, or concerns. So good luck and have at it, everybody.